the stories would come out. So apparently, according to other journalists, we found out that there were a lot of porcupines probably told to the royals and even to Harry when they met her, and in order to cover up.
Meghan was not going to obey any rules. She had no intention of staying, and that she was going to be a huge problem.
So, imagine waking up to birthday headlines celebrating Meghan Markle turning 45, only for fresh claims to suddenly throw everything into question.
To other royal news, Pete, the Duchess of Sussex, she celebrated her birthday.
Yes, so happy birthday to her. We are always grateful to her. She provides so much content for us, and she's always interesting. And it's her birthday, but we're getting the gifts. Look at her.
That's exactly the storm now surrounding Meghan, as author Tom Bower and her half-sister Samantha Markle are once again fueling debate over one detail many thought was settled long ago: her real age. What began as a simple birthday celebration has turned into a heated controversy filled with old records, conflicting claims, and surprising accusations.
But because of the way they behaved in the last 4 or 5 years, and as a price of betrayal, their reputation and their status and their fortunes are crumbling.
And the deeper you look, the stranger this story seems to become. Before we uncover the claims and evidence, tell us, do you think Meghan's age has been accurately reported all along? Or is there more to this story than people realize? Let us know in the comments.
He was a man who couldn't find an English woman who caught up with his depressions, his paranoia, his lack of intellect, to be very crude about it. And Meghan gave him a safety net.
And if you enjoy royal controversies and untold stories, please subscribe. Meghan's birthday mystery resurfaces again. All right, so Meghan Markle's latest birthday should have been a simple celebration. The palace had its number, the media repeated it, and everything seemed straightforward. But then an old magazine resurfaced, and suddenly people were asking questions nobody expected. Now, this is where things get interesting. Buried inside an edition of 17 magazine published in March of 1997 was a small contributor listing that has sparked a surprisingly large debate. It wasn't a gossip blog, a social media post, or an anonymous rumor. It was a printed magazine that appeared on newsstands across America. And according to that page, a young contributor named Meghan Markle from Los Angeles, California, was listed as being 21 years old. At first glance, it seemed like a simple magazine error. Mistakes happen all the time, and most go unnoticed. But critics spotted a puzzling detail. If Meghan's accepted birth date of August 4, 1981, is accurate, she would have been only 15 when the magazine appeared. The discrepancy wasn't minor. It spanned several years, raising questions that many found difficult to ignore. What makes the story so fascinating is that nearly everything else on the page appears to match. The name matches, the location matches, the photograph appears to match. The only detail that seems out of place is the age itself. That single line has become the center of a debate that refuses to disappear. Then the discussion grew even larger when royal biographer Tom Bower and others began examining the issue more closely. Samantha's shocking revelation. For many years, Meghan has carefully presented herself to the world as a symbol of elegance, intelligence, and self-made success. She has been celebrated as a woman who rose above difficult beginnings, worked hard for her achievements, and built a powerful identity through determination and confidence. Her story has often been framed as inspiring. A modern woman who broke barriers, followed her dreams, and eventually stepped into one of the most famous families on Earth. But now that well-polished story is facing serious questions, and the image Meghan has worked so hard to create is beginning to crack. Meghan's journey from Hollywood actress to the Duchess of Sussex has never been simple. It has always been full of dramatic turns, bold choices, and public debate. Still, recent claims have shaken the very foundation of her narrative. The values she has repeatedly emphasized, honesty, empowerment, and authenticity, are now being challenged in a way that strikes at the core of who she claims to be. These are not small accusations about family disagreements or private misunderstandings. Instead, they are claims that question whether the public has ever truly known the real Meghan at all. At the center of this storm is Samantha Markle, Meghan's half-sister, who has made a series of explosive statements that could unravel the entire persona Meghan has presented to the world. Among all the accusations, one stands out as particularly shocking. Samantha claims that Meghan has been dishonest about her age for years, allegedly hiding the truth for nearly 8 years. According to this claim, Meghan is not 44 years old, as she has long stated, but actually 52. If true, this would place her much closer in age to Prince Harry's father, Prince Charles, than to Harry himself. This alleged age gap raises uncomfortable questions, especially within the strict and tradition-heavy world of the royal family. Age differences have always been a sensitive topic in royal relationships. A prince marrying a woman more than a decade older would likely have drawn intense scrutiny and criticism. The public narrative would have been very different. Headlines might have focused on scandal rather than romance, questioning motives instead of celebrating love. In a royal setting where image and tradition matter deeply, Meghan's true age, if hidden, would have been examined under a harsh spotlight. Within this context, Meghan's carefully built image as a fresh, youthful presence in the monarchy now faces renewed doubt. But the claims do not stop there. Samantha goes even further, alleging that Meghan has spent vast amounts of money on cosmetic procedures to maintain a young and flawless appearance. According to these claims, this is not an occasional effort to age gracefully, but a consistent and costly attempt to preserve an illusion. The suggestion is that her youthful look is not natural, but carefully maintained year after year. This accusation goes beyond vanity. It challenges the authenticity of the image Meghan has sold to the world. For years, she has been praised as a modern Cinderella, a woman who rose from modest roots, earned her success through education and hard work, and ultimately found love with a prince. But if her age and appearance have been deliberately misrepresented, critics now ask whether this fairy tale story was ever real, or simply a carefully scripted performance. Adding even more fuel to the fire, Samantha claims that Meghan never completed her college education. This allegation, if proven true, would be devastating to Meghan's public identity. Meghan has long portrayed herself as a highly educated woman, proudly linked to a degree from Northwestern University. She has often spoken about her academic journey as a key part of her independence and strength. Education has been central to the way she defines herself: smart, driven, and capable of standing on her own. If this claim turns out to be false, it would suggest that her story of academic success is built on shaky ground. And if that part of her life is untrue, many are now asking what else might be exaggerated or hidden. Samantha's statements have triggered a wave of online investigations, with journalists and internet researchers digging deep into Meghan's past. As they examine timelines, school records, and career milestones, inconsistencies are beginning to appear. Some experts and observers point to unclear dates, conflicting statements, and gaps in the story Meghan has shared over the years. Details about her education, internships, and early acting work no longer line up as neatly as once believed. One example often mentioned is her internship in Buenos Aires, which Meghan has described as a turning point in her life. New information suggests that this experience, and even her early career, may have been more carefully arranged and managed than the public was led to believe. All of this has led many to wonder whether Meghan has always adapted her story to suit the moment, reshaping her identity depending on what benefited her most at the time. This idea of her being a chameleon, constantly changing her narrative, has gained traction online. With every new claim, the doubts grow stronger. These revelations also place Prince Harry in a difficult position. He has long struggled with the media and its treatment of his family, and now he may find himself caught in the middle of accusations that threaten not only his wife's reputation, but their shared future. Together, Harry and Meghan have worked hard to create a new life, separate from royal pressures and expectations. But if these claims continue to grow, they could challenge everything the couple has tried to build and force the world to re-examine the story they thought they knew. But how will these new details change the image they've worked so hard to protect? If Meghan's public image is built on false stories, the executioner arrives. January 2026. The sky over London isn't just grey. It's heavy with the weight of revelation. Crowds surge toward the Supreme Court of Justice, not for a typical property dispute or celebrity divorce proceedings. They've come to witness either the fall of modern royalty or the exposure of the century's most sophisticated lie. Inside courtroom number 7, the air is suffocating. International journalists fill every available seat, their pens poised over notepads, waiting. The tension is palpable, almost physical. And then he entered. Tom Bower. Silver hair. Eyes like razors. A man who doesn't tell stories. He executes reputations with surgical precision. In the world of investigative journalism, Bower isn't just respected. He's feared. From media moguls to corrupt politicians, anyone who falls within his crosshairs knows one absolute truth. When Tom Bower speaks in court, he holds evidence that cannot be refuted. He never strikes without ammunition. He never accuses without proof. But this time, his target isn't a financial conglomerate or a disgraced CEO. His target is the very foundation of the British royal bloodline itself. Look at the spectator section. Prince Harry sits there, shoulders tense beneath his dark suit jacket. His gaze, which has so often blazed with righteous anger toward the press, now carries something different. Emptiness. A haunting void that suggests a man on the edge of discovering a truth that will destroy him. Beside him sits Meghan Markle, still carrying herself with Hollywood polish. But watch her hands. They grip her handbag so tightly her knuckles have turned white. That carefully maintained composure? It's about to shatter. Completely. Tom Bower's voice cuts through the courtroom, deep, resonant, devastating. He doesn't waste time on family squabbles or bridesmaid dress controversies. He goes straight for the jugular, the true bloodline of Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor. When Bower speaks the name Trevor Engelson, Meghan's supposedly forgotten ex-husband, followed by the phrase genetic comparison results, a collective shiver runs through everyone present. This is no longer internet conspiracy theory territory. This is sworn testimony from one of Britain's most respected investigative journalists. The room falls into a silence so intense it becomes terrifying. You can hear the gasps from the royal legal team. Harry, the man who sacrificed everything, his titles, his safety, his relationship with his father and brother, to protect his small family, looks as though his soul has been ripped away. His mouth falls open, his eyes widen, staring into nothing. Perhaps in that moment, thousands of fragments from his past, lingering doubts, unexplained absences, rushed timelines, suddenly connect to form one horrifying picture. And Meghan's reaction? It's the clearest answer to the chaos. There's no firm denial, no defiant stare. Instead, there's complete emotional breakdown. Tears stream down her face. She stands abruptly, walking, almost running out of the courtroom, leaving security forces stunned. The sound of the wooden door slamming behind her feels like the final punctuation mark on a modern Cinderella story. Why would a legendary journalist like Tom Bower choose this exact moment to expose everything? What does he hold in his hands that could shake an entire dynasty to its core? Meghan's age manipulation. In Hollywood, where youth is often seen as the ultimate ticket to fame and success, It's not unusual for actresses to shave a few years off their age just to stay in the spotlight. For Meghan, who arrived in Tinseltown as a hopeful actress before meeting Prince Harry, this might have been more than vanity. It could have been survival. In a ruthless industry that prizes youth above almost everything else, bending the truth about one's age is often seen as a necessary tactic to get ahead. But now, the very strategy that may have helped Meghan climb the Hollywood ladder is backfiring, and it's threatening to unravel the carefully polished image she has built for herself. What makes this scandal even more gripping is how it intertwines with her royal life. If Samantha Markle's claim that Meghan is actually 52 is true, it casts the Sussex marriage in an entirely new light. A decade-long age difference between Meghan and Harry could have influenced how the public, the media, and even the royal family viewed their relationship. Suddenly, the narrative of a modern fairy tale romance might be replaced with whispers of imbalance or even controversy. For Prince Harry, these revelations could strike at the very core of his emotional world. Harry has long championed authenticity and honesty, and his decision to step away from the royal family was driven by a desire to escape manipulation, falsehoods, and intrusive scrutiny. His quest for freedom and a fresh start has always been central to his story. But if the woman he married has concealed such a fundamental truth, it could feel like a personal betrayal on a scale he's never faced before. Harry has endured deception from the press and the royal family, but discovering a potential falsehood from Meghan about something so intimate could shake his trust and sense of security to the core. The drama doesn't stop at age. Questions about Meghan's academic background add yet another layer of intrigue. For years, she has presented herself as a brilliant, ambitious woman, a graduate of Northwestern University with a double major in theater and international studies. This educational story has been a cornerstone of her public persona, painting her not only as a talented actress and activist, but also as a woman of intellect, sophistication, and determination. But Samantha Markle's allegations suggest that this too may be untrue. If Meghan didn't actually earn her degree, or if the double major never existed at the time she claims, it would strike at the heart of her credibility. Everything she has portrayed about her journey, her drive, her achievements, her image as a self-made, empowered woman, could now be questioned. Reports indicating that Northwestern's records don't fully support her claims only add fuel to the fire, leaving the public to wonder, has Meghan carefully crafted her image with exaggerations or outright fabrications? Or is the university quietly shielding her due to her royal status? Either way, the uncertainty is enough to make people doubt much of what they thought they knew about her. The timing of these revelations makes them even more explosive. Since marrying Harry, Meghan has meticulously cultivated an image of a resilient, successful woman, a global figure of activism, philanthropy, and empowerment. Her academic achievements have been central to this narrative. If it turns out that her story was built on falsehoods, it could shock the world, forcing fans and critics alike to reassess her motivations, her integrity, and the authenticity of her entire public persona. For Harry, the stakes are deeply personal. His commitment to truth and authenticity has always defined his life choices. If Meghan's carefully constructed image proves to be a facade, it will force him to confront painful questions about their marriage, the woman he chose, and the life they've built together. For someone who has been open about his mental health struggles and the pressures of royal life, this could feel like a betrayal he may never fully overcome. This isn't just another tabloid scandal. It's a profound crisis of identity, trust, and truth. The future of Meghan Markle, her marriage to Prince Harry, and the image they've painstakingly created, all hang in the balance. How Meghan responds to these allegations, whether she chooses silence or confrontation, could determine her personal and public future. The world is watching, every move dissected, every word scrutinized. What will Meghan do now that cracks are appearing in her carefully built image? Will she address the claims or let silence speak for her? Let's take a closer look. A connection that intensified at unusual speed, and then, once they met, everything began to move with striking speed. What had started as a single introduction in London quickly turned into something far more intense, far more consuming. To those watching from the outside, it looked like a powerful and immediate connection. Two people finding certainty in each other without hesitation. But beneath that surface, the pace itself began to raise quiet questions. To Tom Bower, the relationship between Meghan Markle and Prince Harry did not follow the slow and measured path often expected within royal life. Instead, it accelerated. Emotions deepened quickly. Decisions followed closely behind. Within a short period, Harry appeared completely invested, not only emotionally, but personally and mentally as well. He spoke openly about how certain he felt, how quickly he believed he had found the person he had been searching for. That level of certainty, so early on, became a defining feature of the relationship. It gave the story a sense of intensity that was difficult to ignore. Bower points to what has been described as love bombing, a term used to explain a pattern where affection, attention, and emotional connection are expressed in overwhelming amounts at the beginning of a relationship. It creates a powerful bond, one that can feel genuine and undeniable, but also one that forms very quickly. In this case, that rapid emotional build seemed to draw Harry in completely. His responses reflected deep attachment, formed in a relatively short time. The relationship became central to his world. Plans were discussed early. The future was imagined almost immediately. From the outside, it felt like a modern love story moving at its own pace. But inside royal circles, where caution and the questions we must ask. As we process this explosive testimony, we need to ask ourselves some hard questions. If Tom Bower is lying, or even exaggerating, why hasn't he been sued into oblivion? His testimony was delivered under oath in a court of law. False testimony carries severe penalties, including perjury charges. Would a journalist of his stature risk his entire career and potential imprisonment on fabrications? If Meghan has nothing to hide, why not immediately provide DNA evidence to silence critics forever? One simple test, conducted by independent laboratories, witnessed by neutral parties, would end this nightmare instantly. The silence suggests either legal strategy or something more troubling. If the palace truly has evidence in a locked safe proving Archie's Windsor bloodline, why not release it? What possible reason exists to keep that evidence secret if it would vindicate the Sussexes and end the speculation? If Harry genuinely believes Archie is his biological son, why does he look so devastated in those courtroom photographs? Why the haunted expression? Why the inability to meet anyone's eyes? These questions don't have comfortable answers. And that's precisely why this story has gripped the world's attention so completely. The final verdict. What began as a royal romance, celebrated globally as a modern fairy tale, may end as the greatest deception in contemporary monarchy history. Tom Bower's testimony has ripped away the curtain, exposing what may be a carefully constructed illusion. Whether you believe Bower's claims or consider them the ultimate hit piece against the Sussexes, one thing is undeniable. The questions he's raised will not disappear. They will echo through history, casting doubt on everything we thought we knew about Harry and Meghan's story. The truth, as Bower said in court, doesn't belong to anyone. It simply exists, and no amount of PR campaigns, legal threats, or strategic silence can keep it buried forever. For Harry, the man who wanted nothing more than to protect his family from the intrusions he believes killed his mother, the irony is devastating. His attempts to shield his loved ones from scrutiny may have created the exact conditions for the most explosive scrutiny imaginable. For Meghan, the actress who became a princess and then walked away from royalty to build her own empire, the stakes couldn't be higher. If Bower's claims are validated, everything she's built, her brand, her credibility, her future, collapses instantly. For Archie, an innocent child caught in the crossfire of adult deceptions and power games, the future is uncertain and potentially traumatic, regardless of what the truth reveals. And for the British monarchy, an institution that has survived wars, scandals, and centuries of upheaval. This may be the test that determines whether it can survive in the modern age of DNA testing and demands for absolute transparency. We are committed to continuing to follow and bring you the latest developments in this unfolding drama. The truth is coming, whether through court documents, DNA evidence, or whistleblower testimony. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates on what may be the biggest royal scandal in modern history. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you believe Tom Bower's damning testimony, or do you think this is just a final attempt to destroy the Sussex family? Do you think Meghan should immediately provide DNA evidence to silence critics? Do you believe Harry knew the truth, or is he the ultimate victim in this scenario? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's discuss what this means for the future of the monarchy and whether the institution can survive if these allegations prove true. The storm of revelation has only just begun, and before it's over, everything we thought we knew about the most famous couple in the world may be proven to be nothing more than a carefully crafted lie.